My mum bragged at dinner. I sold your daughter's jewelry, the one you gifted her, and used the money to buy your stepdad a new car. My stepdad cheered, finally making smart decisions. I didn't react. The next day, the jewelry buyer called screaming and panicking. Dad was halfway through his steak when he said it. We were sitting in their dining room. Sunday dinner, weekly tradition. The chandelier above the table cast warm light across the spread. Mom's good china. The expensive Wedgwood stuff she only used for special occasions. Roasted vegetables, garlic mashed potatoes, wine glasses catching the glow like little prisms. I was cutting into my chicken when Dad set down his fork and grinned at my stepdad, Richard. Got some good news, he said, voice proud, excited, like a kid showing off a good report card. Remember that jewelry set? The one Emma's grandmother left her? My hand stopped mid-cut, knife frozen halfway through the chicken breast. I sold it yesterday, all 3 pieces. Went to that estate jewelry place downtown, got $12,000 for it. He leaned back in his chair, satisfied, triumphant. Used the money as a down payment on that Audi you wanted. Richard's face lit up. He actually clapped his hands together like a seal. No way! The black one? The one we test drove last month? The black one. Leather interior, heated seats, navigation, premium sound system, the works. Dad raised his wine glass, toasted the air. Finally making smart decisions around here. They clinked glasses, crystal ringing, both grinning, laughing. Mom smiled, sipped her wine, nodded approvingly, said nothing. I sat there, knife and fork in my hands. My throat suddenly tight, closing up, chest constricting like someone was sitting on it. The jewelry set, my grandmother's emerald necklace, bracelet, and earrings, Art Deco, probably from the 1920s, maybe earlier. Emeralds set in platinum with tiny diamonds surrounding each stone, intricate filigree work, the kind they don't make anymore. She'd given them to me before she died, 2 years ago, August, late afternoon, sitting in her hospital room. She'd held my hands, weak grip, paper-thin skin, told me the jewelry had been in our family for 3 generations, her grandmother's, then her mother's, then hers, now mine, made me promise to keep them safe, to pass them down someday to my daughter, to keep the tradition going. I'd cried, promised, held her hand until she fell asleep. She died 3 days later. I'd stored the jewelry at my parents' house because my apartment had been broken into the year before. Someone had pried open my bedroom window while I was at work, stolen my laptop, some cash, a watch my college boyfriend had given me. The police had done nothing, said it was probably kids, nothing we can do. I thought the jewelry would be safer at their house, in their home safe, in their spare bedroom, protected. I'd trusted them. Emma? Mom's voice cut through the ringing in my ears. Sharp, concerned. You're being awfully quiet. I looked up, 3 faces staring at me, waiting, expecting me to say something. I smiled, forced it, muscles aching with the effort. Just thinking about work stuff. Sorry, big project coming up, presentation on Friday. Dad waved his hand dismissively, annoyed. Well, stop thinking about work and eat. This meal cost me enough as it is. Prime cuts don't come cheap. $40 a pound for this steak. Richard laughed. Loud. Too loud. Not anymore. Now you've got Audi money. You can afford all the steak you want. They went back to eating, talking about the car, the features, the performance specs, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. How Richard couldn't wait to drive it. How he'd take it to the office tomorrow. Show the guys. Make them jealous. I'm thinking of getting a vanity plate, Richard said, cutting his steak. Something cool. Any ideas? Ottoman, Dad suggested. They both laughed. I finished my meal mechanically. Fork to mouth, chew, swallow. No taste, just movement, just getting through it. You know, Emma, Richard said, looking at me across the table. You should be happy for me, really. It's about time I got something nice. I've been driving that Honda for 6 years. 6 years. Things falling apart. You've seen it. I nodded. Congratulations. Your dad's been so generous, taking care of me like this. I'm lucky to have him. Lucky to be part of this family. Dad beamed. Proud. Magnanimous. The provider. Mom reached over, squeezed Richard's hand. We're lucky to have you too. I excused myself to the bathroom, locked the door, sat on the edge of the tub, breathed. In, out, in, out. Don't cry. Don't react. Not here. Not now. When I came back, they were talking about vacation plans. Maybe Cabo. Maybe Hawaii. Richard had always wanted to go to Hawaii. After dinner, I helped Mom clear the dishes, carried plates to the kitchen, scraped food into the garbage disposal. You understand, right? Mom said quietly, rinsing a plate, not looking at me. Richard really needed a car. That Honda was becoming a safety issue, and that jewelry was just sitting there in the safe. You never wore it. What's the point of having nice things if they're just locked away? I dried a wine glass, slowly, carefully. It was Grandma's. I know, honey, but she's gone, and she'd want us to use her things to help family. Richard is family now. He's been with me for 5 years. That's family. She gave it to me, specifically. Mom turned off the water, looked at me. Emma, don't be selfish. You have a whole life ahead of you. You'll get more jewelry. Richard needed this. Be happy for him. I dried my hands. I'm not feeling well. I think I'm going to head home. Already? It's only 7:30. We were going to play cards, have dessert. I made your favorite, chocolate cake. Yeah, headache, sorry. Do you need Advil? I have some. No, I just need to lie down. I'll be be fine. Nobody walked me to the door. Nobody asked if I was really okay. Nobody offered to come check on me later. I drove home in silence, my hands shaking on the steering wheel, my vision blurry, streetlights bleeding together. Don't cry. Not yet. Not until you're home. Hold it together. I made it to my apartment, third floor walk up, unlocked the door, locked it behind me, sat on my couch in the dark, in my coat, in my shoes, and I didn't cry. I planned. The next morning, Monday, I called in sick to work. First sick day I'd taken in 8 months. Then I called my lawyer, Sarah Mitchell. I'd used her for my lease review when I moved into my current place last year. She was sharp, thorough, no nonsense, mid-40s, had been practicing for 20 years. Sarah, I need help with something. My father sold property that belonged to me without my permission. Tell me everything, I explained. The jewelry, the inheritance, Grandma's death, the storage at their house, the dinner, the Audi, the celebration. Your father sold property that belonged to you, she said slowly, carefully, taking notes. I could hear her pen scratching. That's theft. Conversion of property. Depending on the value, it could be felony theft. Do you have proof the jewelry was yours? My grandmother's will. It specifically lists the jewelry set, describes each piece in detail, the necklace, the bracelet, the earrings, and names me as the sole recipient. It's very clear. Perfect. Get me a copy. Today if possible. We'll start with a demand letter. Formal legal notice that the property was stolen and must be returned immediately or compensated for full market value. If he refuses or ignores it, we file criminal charges and a civil suit. How much are we talking about value-wise? For antique emerald jewelry like that, professionally appraised, could be 20, 30,000, maybe more. Art Deco pieces are highly collectible. Emeralds are rare. The craftsmanship, the history, all factors. I felt sick. Dad had sold them for 12,000, had gotten ripped off, probably didn't even try to negotiate. I'll get you the will today. I went to the bank during lunch, the safety deposit box where Grandma's will was stored. Her lawyer had given me a key, made me a co-holder, for safekeeping, made copies of the relevant pages, the section listing her personal effects, her jewelry collection, each piece described, the emerald set specifically mentioned. To my granddaughter, Emma Rose Martinez, the section naming me as beneficiary, her signature, the witnesses' signatures, the notary seal, everything official, legal, binding, sent them to Sarah via encrypted email. Then I did something else. I called the jewelry buyer Dad had sold to, found his name and number through some research. Pawn shop transaction records are sometimes public. Small operation, family-owned. Chen's Fine Jewelry and Estate Sales, downtown. Been in business 40 years. Mr. Chen, this is Emma Martinez. I believe my father, Robert Martinez, sold you an emerald jewelry set yesterday. 3 pieces. Necklace, bracelet, earrings, Art Deco style, platinum settings, pause, rustling papers. Yes, Sunday afternoon, beautiful pieces, very fine quality. I paid 12,000, fair price for the condition they were in. I'm sure it was a fair price, Mr. Chen. I just wanted to let you know that those pieces were stolen. I'm the legal owner. I have documentation. My grandmother's will. My father had no legal right to sell them. He stole them from me. Silence on the other end. Long silence. Then, are you absolutely sure about this? Your father seemed legitimate, had the pieces in nice boxes, original boxes, knew the history, said they'd been in the family for years. He seemed credible. He lied. He stole from me and sold my property without permission or knowledge. I've already contacted my lawyer. I'm filing a police report this afternoon. The jewelry will need to be returned as evidence in a criminal theft case. You should receive official notification from the police within 48 hours. Wait, I sold one of the pieces, the necklace, to a collector yesterday afternoon, right after your father left. The collector had been looking for Art Deco emeralds for months. He paid well. Then you'll need to get it back. Contact the collector. Explain the situation. I'm sorry you got caught in the middle of this, Mr. Chen, truly, but I'm recovering what's mine. My lawyer will be in touch with formal documentation. This is going to cost me thousands. I'll have to buy the necklace back, probably at a loss. And if I can't get it back, that's between you and my father. He defrauded you. You should consider pressing charges against him as well. I would. I hung up. My hands were steady. My voice had been calm, clinical, professional. I felt nothing, just cold, just determined. That afternoon, I went to the police station, downtown precinct, waited 40 minutes to speak to someone, filed a formal report, theft of property over $10,000, grand theft, provided documentation, copy of the will, photos of the jewelry from when Grandma had worn it. I'd found them in old photo albums, appraisal from 3 years ago when she'd had everything valued for insurance, $28,000 for the set. The officer took my statement, Detective Morrison, mid-50s, tired eyes. He looked at the documents, studied them carefully. This is pretty clear-cut, he said. Clearest case of theft I've seen in months. Usually family stuff is murky. He said, she said, but you have documentation, will, photos, appraisal, and the buyer confirms the transaction. We'll investigate. When everything checks out, and it will, we'll be pressing charges. Grand theft, probably felony level given the value. Thank you. Do your parents know you're doing this? No. He nodded. It's going to get ugly. Family cases always do. You prepared for that? Yes. For the next week, I acted completely normal. I didn't call my parents, didn't text, didn't respond to Mom's "hope you're feeling better" message, didn't respond to Dad's "you left so early Sunday, everything okay?" Just went to work, went to the gym, cooked dinner, watched Netflix, read, lived my life. My lawyer sent the demand letter via certified mail. Dad had to sign for it. Someone had to be home to accept it. He signed for it on Wednesday. He called me twice that day within an hour. I didn't answer. He left voicemails. First one, "Emma, what the hell is this letter? Call me back. This is ridiculous. We need to talk about this." Second one, "Emma, pick up your phone. This is serious. You can't threaten me with lawyers. I'm your father. Call me back right now." I deleted them. The police contacted Mr. Chen on Thursday. He panicked, called the collector who'd bought the necklace, begged him to return it. The collector refused at first. "I paid $15,000 for this piece. You sold it to me for $12,000. I made a profit. Why would I return it?" Chen explained. Stolen property, police investigation, criminal charges. If the collector kept it, he could be charged with receiving stolen property. The collector agreed to return it, but demanded his $15,000 back. Chen had to buy it back at a $3,000 loss, then had to return all 3 pieces to the police as evidence. He called Dad, screaming, threatening to sue for fraud, for misrepresentation, for his losses. Dad called me 3 more times that day. I didn't answer. Everything was moving, quietly, efficiently, like falling dominoes, like a machine I'd built and set in motion. Then came the family dinner. 2 weeks later, Mom's birthday. She'd invited me weeks ago, before any of this started, before I'd known. I almost didn't go, but I wanted to see their faces. I showed up with flowers and a smile, yellow roses, her favorites, 15 stems, expensive. "Emma, you came." She hugged me at the door, tight, relieved. "I was worried you wouldn't. You've been so distant, so quiet. I thought you were mad at us." "Just busy with work. Sorry. Happy birthday, Mom." Dad and Richard were already there, sitting in the living room, beers in hand, sports on TV. The Audi was parked in the driveway, gleaming, black, spotless, beautiful. Richard had washed it, waxed it. You could see your reflection in the paint. We ate dinner, lasagna, Mom's specialty, salad, garlic bread, normal family dinner, made small talk, work, weather, neighborhood gossip. Someone down the street was getting divorced. Mom opened presents after dinner, perfume from Dad, a cashmere scarf from Richard, a $100 gift card to her favorite spa from me. "Thank you, honey. This is lovely. So thoughtful." We were having coffee and cake when Dad's phone rang. He looked at the screen, frowned, number he didn't recognize. "I need to take this." He stepped into the kitchen, closed the door. We could hear his voice through it, rising. "Hello? Yes, this is Robert Martinez." "What? No, that's impossible. That's my car. I have the title right here. What do you mean, seized?" Richard's phone rang next. He looked at the screen, confused, answered. "Hello? Yes, this is Richard Cooper." "What? No, I didn't know. It was a gift." Dad came back into the dining room. His face was red, angry, scared, sweating. "What did you do?" he said, looking directly at me, voice shaking. I set down my coffee cup carefully, dabbed my mouth with my napkin. "I filed a police report for theft, grand theft. The jewelry buyer contacted authorities and confirmed the transaction. Apparently, when you sell stolen property and then use the proceeds to purchase something else, that purchase can be seized as proceeds of crime. They're repossessing the car, taking it tonight." Richard stood up, chair scraping loudly against the floor. "You can't do this. This is insane." "I already did." Mom's face had gone white, completely white. "Emma, please, this is too much. This is too far. We can work this out. We'll get the jewelry back. We'll make it right." "No." My voice was calm, steady, cold. "You stole from me. You celebrated it. You made me sit there at this table and watch you celebrate it. You laughed about it. You toasted to it. You were proud." Dad's hands were shaking, coffee cup rattling on the saucer. "That jewelry was just sitting there gathering dust, doing nothing. It was mine. Grandma gave it to me. She made me promise to keep it safe, to pass it down. You had no right. None. We're family. Family doesn't steal from family. Family doesn't laugh about it after." The room went silent, just the sound of Richard's breathing, heavy, panicked. Richard was staring at his phone, at the texts coming through. Repo company, 15 minutes away, court dates. His name listed on criminal charges as an accessory because he'd knowingly accepted property purchased with stolen goods. Dad sank into his chair. "They're charging me with felony theft. My lawyer said I could get 2 years in prison. 2 years. You should have thought about that before you stole $28,000 worth of jewelry. 28, it was only worth 12. That's what Chen paid you, because you didn't bother to get it properly appraised. The actual appraised value is $28,000. That's what's on Grandma's insurance documents. That's what the police report lists. That's what my civil lawsuit will claim when I sue you for damages. Mom started crying, mascara running. Please, please don't do this to us. We'll pay you back. We'll sell the car. Oh God, they're taking the car. We'll sell something else. The boat, the jet skis, something. Please. They're seizing the car. You can't sell it. It's evidence. And I don't want your money. I want justice. Justice? Dad's voice rose. For what? For trying to help Richard? For making a decision about jewelry you never wore? For stealing from me? For betraying my trust? For violating Grandma's last wishes? For celebrating it like you'd done something clever? I stood up, picked up my purse, smoothed my dress. Happy birthday, Mom. Hope it was everything you wanted. I walked to the door, could feel their eyes on my back. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Nobody tried to stop me. I stepped outside. The evening air was cool. Crickets chirping. Got in my car, started the engine. Through the dining room window, I could see them inside, still sitting there, frozen. Mom crying. Dad staring at nothing. Richard on his phone, frantically texting someone. Headlights appeared at the end of the street. Tow truck. Right on time. I put the car in reverse and drove away.